For our sins in our past life, we have been brought back in the form of our enemy.
Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Watch by Ashley, where we take a look at some of the new releases on video on demand and streaming and discuss whether or not they're worth the watch. Today we're going to be talking about the newest addition to the billion-dollar franchise, Avatar: The Way of Water.
The way of water has no beginning and no end.
So I will be completely honest with you, when the first Avatar movie came out, I wasn't impressed, and I didn't think that the world needed more Avatar movies in it. I didn't know what James Cameron could possibly do to improve upon Avatar. I mean, yes, it was groundbreaking with the use of computer graphics and real-life filming. He developed new techniques, and I don't know if you remember, but for 5 years after Avatar came out, every movie was 3D. So he's definitely made an impact on filmmaking. So I wasn't sure what else he could possibly do to make that better or improve upon it. But I will be the first to admit it. I loved Avatar: The Way of Water. I thought it was fantastic. I don't know if it's because I'm older and more mature and I would say I have a better grasp of consequences, but this movie really, I think, is a step up and an improvement. Visually, it is stunning. It was almost indistinguishable, certain aspects of it, between what was practical effects and what was special effects, and just kind of getting that depth of field. It was just very strange and thrilling at the same time. So I loved it. I was thoroughly entertained. It's over 3 hours long, but to me it didn't feel like 3 hours. We have a lot of familiar faces here in the movie, some returning characters, and so that's really great. I think that Zoe Saldaña as Neytiri, she was fantastic. She brought it again. Zoe Saldaña is obviously a talent, and she'll go down in history for playing this role because it is just so interactive. Putting on the special effects suit and having your facial expressions captured, it feels so almost seamless. So honestly, she's fantastic. Then of course we have Sam Worthington again as Jake Sully. He of course does a great job. I think in this film, now that Neytiri and Jake are parents, we get to see a different side of them. They're not just warriors, they're caretakers, and they're trying to balance that kind of dynamic of what's more important.
This is not a squad. It is a family.
And of course, there's Stephen Lang playing Colonel Quadrich. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but Stephen Lang, I don't know. For me, I thought that he stole the show. I loved every second that he was on screen, even though we didn't get any live action of him since his character died in the previous movie. But here, he was just such a perfect villain.
I know you're all asking yourselves the same question. Why so blue?
It seemed like he was enjoying playing an evil character because he does some really bad things in the movie. And just that voice acting performance was phenomenal. I loved it. I honestly, like I said, I stood corrected. James Cameron impressed me. I'm definitely looking forward to the next installment of Avatar. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth, but I'm here for Avatar 3. I know that there's rumors of fire Na'vi, so we'll see how that goes. But in terms of the plot, high level, what we have here is Jake and Neytiri have settled down. They have a family. They have 3 kids of their own, and they've brought in Grace Augustine's daughter, Kiri. They're raising her, and in addition to that, strangely, in a weird twist, Colonel Quadrich, he has a son, a human son, who is on Pandora. And they've included him in their tribe, which is very interesting. So he kind of has stripes on him to kind of be one of the Na'vi, and he's wearing a loincloth. So he's kind of like a wild kid, right? And they kind of embrace him, the younger generation, they embrace him, they call him cousin, and they have a pretty good dynamic going on. But just as young kids are, they always love to explore and be in places that they're not supposed to be. So Jake is kind of leading the charge with his tribe in terms of attacking the sky people and pushing them back so that they don't infringe on their territory. And while this is all happening, yes, he wants to rely on his older sons a bit more, but they're not respecting the boundaries that he's putting in place for them. So he gets very frustrated. And Neytiri is just you have to remember, you're their dad. You can't just be hard on them all the time. And so he's really struggling with that balance because he knows how high the stakes are. If one thing goes wrong, that could be the end of his family. So he's just very concerned. And one day, the kids are kind of exploring a base where they're not supposed to. And this is the area where in the first movie, Colonel Quadrich actually ended up dying at the hand of Neytiri. While they're doing this, Colonel Quadrich's avatar and his platoon of avatars are actually in the area because they're trying to do recon and find out where Jake Sully is, because Jake has been messing up their plans. So they want revenge and they want to get him. With this platoon of avatars, they stumble upon the kids and they want to kidnap the kids, of course.
Hey, Colonel, check it out. 4 fingers. We got a half-breed.
Show me your fingers. You're his, aren't you?
Well, there's a bit of a scuffle because, of course, Jake and Neytiri are updated in the situation and they're trying to rescue their kids.
That you, Mrs. Sully? I recognize your calling card.
In the scuffle, they end up losing Spider. Spider ends up going with Colonel Quattridge. And this ends up setting up the film because Jake realizes things are getting serious if Quattridge himself is coming after me directly and my family. He's targeting specifically the family.
He had our children. He had them under his knife.
So he makes the very difficult decision as a father that they need to move on. They can't stay with the tribe anymore.
I got no plan, but I can protect this family. That I can do.
Neytiri is very upset with that because she feels like they made a promise to protect their tribe and their warriors, and that should be where their focus is. But Jake's point of view is that as a father, his number one priority is to protect his family. So as a male and as a leader, she follows him as they make the journey to a water tribe.
Teach them our ways so they do not suffer the shame of being useless.
And this is a very interesting, literally like a fish out of water story because the water Na'vi are completely different in terms of their traditions and they're very different in terms of their physical makeup. When Jake and his family show up, they kind of get made fun of and mocked because they haven't evolved properly for life in the water. And this is another reason why Neytiri is just even more frustrated and upset because now the kids are complete outcasts.
Their arms are thin.
Mom.
Their tails are weak.
As if it wasn't enough for them, since they're considered half-breeds, since they have an extra finger, them being totally inexperienced with water just puts another target on their back. We kind of get the story of Jake's kids mixing with the water Na'vi and kind of the dynamics of that. Of course, there's bullying, there's feelings that are getting hurt, people are upset, and on top of that, you have Colonel Quattridge and his Avatar team coming after them. So it's a very interesting story, lots of different moving parts and dynamics. I really enjoyed it. If I was to give the film a rating, I have to give this film a rating of 8.5. It's almost perfect. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm in just as much shock as you are. I really had a good time watching this. The only thing that ruins this movie for me is Spider. If you've seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Spider is a very weird character. I don't understand his motives or his logic. He makes some decisions that I don't agree with, and so I won't spoil it for you, but Spider. That's all I'll say. Spider is the worst. But yeah, those are my thoughts in regards to Avatar: The Way of Water. Please let me know if you've seen the film. Did you enjoy it? Did you see it in theaters? Are you looking forward to the subsequent movies that are coming out? I know that 3 is already filmed, so are you excited for that? If not, I still want to hear your opinion. Let me know in the comments below. But that's all I have for you today, so thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like the content here, please consider giving me a like and subscribe, as it will definitely help me in growing the channel. And until next time, take care. Bye.